The trail of the 3rd Army and the 19th Tactical Air Command and the 8th Air Force is marked by more than 40,000 white crosses, 40,000 dead Americans.
We were young and soldiers called to dedicate our lives in the name of God and country. Do what's just, boys. Go do what's right. A hot band of brothers waiting on our chance to add one more page unto the victory dance. Here am I, Lord, send me, send me. Victory lies in the spirit of the lives of the men who died for me.
Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I. Send me."
This is Michael Broderick, Marine Corps veteran, actor, and Gallant Few board member. You are listening to the New American Veteran. Now here's Carl Monger.
Hey, this is Carl Monger with Gallant Few and the New American Veteran. And today I'm privileged to bring on the show Robert Alcantara. And I had to work on pronouncing the name. So Robert, I hope I got that right.
You did.
All right, awesome. You are now a personal coach. You've been through some training, and we're going to talk about what that means and ultimately learn how people can connect with you to receive the benefit of your coaching. But before we move into that, I'd like you to tell us just a little bit about your military background.
So I served in the Army from 2006 to 2010 on active duty. I was stationed in Fort Bragg, assigned to the 82nd Airborne Division. I worked as a supply specialist, pretty much handled the day-to-day logistics operations for an infantry company. Did that for about 4 years, then left in 2010, joined the reserves from 2010 to 2012. That was it.
Make sure I turn the sound off my phone, but before we connected, I had just gone in to make sure we made the connection. I didn't turn the sound back off, so I apologize for that. So, so you spent four years, was it, at the 82nd?
4 years, active duty, 82nd.
You get a couple of jumps?
Afghanistan.
A couple of jumps while you're there? Yeah, nice. What was your most memorable experience, if you don't mind sharing, of the time that you spent at the 82nd or in the military? Put you on the spot here.
Yeah, you did. Just the different people I met from different backgrounds, different walks of life, and how we were able to all come together and just form that kind of brotherhood, you know?
So the relationship and the team. Definitely,
yeah.
Yeah, nice. Are you still in touch with any of the folks you served with?
About 2 people.
Mm-hmm. And one of the most important things Gallant Few talks about is reconnecting and making sure that you don't isolate and they don't isolate. So good job in staying connected with them. That's extremely important that you do that.
Yeah, it definitely is important to stay connected, especially when you leave the military and you're kind of out on your own. It's good to, know that you still have some friends who, still have your back.
So in the transition, since you left the military, can you share a couple of the lessons that you've learned through your transition that might benefit somebody else? Could be something that you did that you wished you hadn't done, or it could be something that you did that you think went really well.
Definitely. First piece of advice is to have a plan, whether that's going to school, college, trade school, a job outside of the military. Have a plan, stay connected with your buddies, stay connected with family, friends. Personally, when I left the military, I isolated myself, and that, transpired into me falling into deep depression and anxiety. So staying connected and having a plan are top two pieces of advice I'd give someone.
Yeah, a lot of the times that isolation comes about because somebody may have some injuries. You jump out of planes, you get hurt, but you want to stay on jump status so you don't report the injuries. And so then later on, you're fighting with the VA to try to get care. And that kind of frustration can cause somebody to isolate. It can also cause people to self-medicate with alcohol or other substances. And if through that whole process, if you have a damaged relationship, let's say you go through a divorce or don't have custody of your kids, or it's only part-time, all of those things can drive you towards isolation. It makes it harder to get a job. It makes it difficult to stay in school. And I firmly believe that isolation is the number one issue facing a veteran when they leave active duty. So being connected, having a plan, being intentional, that's all great advice.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me about being a coach. What kind of methodology to use? What made you decide to get into that field?
So I wanted to find a way to help others let me fall back. I wanted to help others who were going through similar circumstances. I suffered severe depression, anxiety, isolation. I had difficulty being motivated to just exercise, eat healthy, take care of day-to-day tasks. School was difficult for me. So I wanted to use my experience and my story and help others going through similar situation.
It's kind of interesting that I've had episodes in my life where I've gone through depression. Yeah, I went through a divorce and I've had other experiences in my life. And when you sometimes it seems that depression can feel really good. I mean, when you're in the middle of that, it's like you don't want to do what you need to do to go out and meet people or to cheer yourself up, because it just kind of feels good to be in that depression mode. I mean, maybe that's a little bit like what some drugs are to this day. I've never used an illicit drug, although I have self-medicated with alcohol. But when it feels good, that makes it harder for you to break out of that. And I think the longer that you are stuck in that, the more addicted that you get to the feeling of being depressed. And so how do you break out of that?
Reaching out. Don't be afraid to ask for help from friends, family, therapist, life coach. Definitely staying connected. Try to exercise. Physical health is extremely important for your mental health. Same with eating healthy. Try to enjoy activities that you used to enjoy doing, such as like going for a hike, spending time outdoors, going to the shooting range, whatever. Just try to keep yourself busy. Try to set goals each week, and just every day just work on something small that helps you bring you closer to that goal. And I think having something to look forward to helps a lot, especially with family, if you have kids. And just most importantly, just staying connected, because it's easy to isolate yourself when you're feeling depressed and you're feeling stuck and you just feel comfortable in that darkness. So asking for help is number one.
Yeah, it's almost like if I were to draw a physical analogy to it, and I think depression is a physical condition, but it feels really good to lay on the couch and eat pizza and drink beer and just get fat, right? I mean, that really feels good. But what happens? It destroys your body. And you don't want to get up and go get on the bicycle or walk around the block or go to the gym or do whatever, because it feels good to lay on the couch. But when you get out and you start moving and you get that blood circulating, it's amazing how much better you feel than when you were laying on the couch. So it's like on that depression thing, you got to get out, you got to get connected, you got to force yourself out of that funk. because the way social media is today, everybody's got this, it's a veneer, right? It's very shallow, the portrayal that they have on social media. And they may care about you, but they look at your Facebook page and they can't see what you're going through because you don't post something on there that makes it look like you're going through a difficult time. I mean, people just don't do that. So you have to, nobody's going to reach in and pull you out. You have to force yourself to get out there in front of them. So talk to me about the coaching. What is there a particular, did you get certified through a particular coaching system, or can you talk about what that entails?
So I got certified through the Catalyst Coaching Intensive. It's run by this life coach known as the Angry Therapist. He's very popular out in California on the West Coast.
The Angry Therapist.
The Angry Therapist, yeah. He's actually a licensed marriage and family therapist that decided that life coaching is more effective in helping people. So went through that training back in 2016, latter part of 2016, started the life coaching business in January, and yeah, just trying to build it up and get going.
That is an extremely difficult field to go out and get people, because I mean, what you're doing is marvelous. It is needed. Every single person out there needs to have somebody who's a coach or a mentor to them, because there are great techniques out there that can help you in your day-to-day life, that can help you have a better outlook, help you make better decisions, help you put a plan together. And so many people, you said earlier in your transition, have a plan. So many people let things happen by accident. Whatever happens, happens. I really don't have a plan for what I'm going to do this afternoon or tomorrow, or I may have to go to the grocery store. So I know I got to do that sometime this week. But when it comes to putting something on a schedule that says, during this period of time, I'm going to check my email. During this period of time, I'm going to work on my schoolwork, or I'm going to read a professional development book, or that people don't do that. And putting that plan in place is difficult. And the coaching side of that, having somebody that helps you through that, I think is extremely important. So can you give me an example? He calls himself the Angry Therapist. Can you give a little bit of maybe background on that? And how does that apply with the coaching that you do?
To be honest, I don't really know why he called himself the Angry Therapist. I'm sure there's a reason. I just can't think of it.
It's probably good marketing, right?
It is good marketing, definitely. The coaching program itself, it's 12 weeks long. I think now it's 16, but it's broken down into different stages. Your first stage, you're learning about person-centered therapy, asking questions, trauma, depression, anxiety, relationships. So you're kind of learning a little bit of everything, trying to build your tool bag, your knowledge. And there's some branding involved as well to help you launch your small business.
And so you have a website now for your coaching business. What's the website?
I do have a website. It's r4lcoaching.com.
I'm going to write that down. R4L. So it's Romeo 4 Lima.
Yep.
Coaching.com. Okay. Yeah, I'll look that up. I'll include the link here as well. What kind of person are you looking for as a client? If somebody out there is listening to this, if you were to pick who should contact you to talk about what coaching could do for them?
Men suffering from anxiety, depression, issues with relationship, veterans who are getting ready to transition out of the military, or who have already transitioned out of the military and just need, a little bit of help with that. And if you need help with accountability, motivation to get going, help with all of that.
Okay. A lot of times, people will give away a little teaser, like, hey, here's a little freebie to give you a kind of a taste of what we do. Can you throw something out that would be like, if I'm talking to somebody, this would be the first, and I'm going to let you think about that for a minute, because my doorbell just rang. I can edit this part out.
Okay.
So think about that question. I'll be right back to you.
All right.
All right, so mailman. Okay, so yeah, so let me set that back up again because I'll edit that part from that question out. So a lot of times when somebody is starting out a business, they'll give away a little freebie like, hey, here's a coupon for free pizza, or here is one tidbit that can help you on a daily basis that shows you kind of what I'm about, that makes you want to come see me more. Can you offer up something like that that could be a little teaser for people?
Right. So I'm offering 3 free sessions, and afterwards, veterans get a 25% discount if they continue to work with me.
And what can you share what the rate is, or do you want to keep that confidential until you talk to people?
No, the rate is $75 an hour.
75 an hour. Okay.
And I have different options that you can choose from on my website.
So if you were to give somebody one tip right now today, hey, here's a tip of the day, what would that be for them?
Stay connected. Connect with someone you haven't reached out to in a while, old buddies you served with, your mother that you haven't called in a week. Just stay connected.
Uh-oh. I told my mom I was going to call her yesterday. I didn't do it. I better call. Awesome. Well, Robert, it's great to talk to you. What did I miss? Anything else that you'd like to share?
I think we covered everything.
I heard that you and Bryce went out there in Raleigh and went indoor rock climbing. How'd that go for you?
We did. It's been a while since I've been rock climbing, so it was definitely a good workout. I know I climbed wrong because my arms were sore afterwards, so got to remember to use my legs.
Yeah, that's rock climbing is, you would think it would be very natural because, as whatever we developed through history, but sitting on our butts and at a desk all day long and walking down the street doesn't actually equate to rock climbing. So one of my favorite activities of all time. I'm glad you went out with Bryce. Hope you go back and do it again. I'd like to get some veterans together there in the Raleigh area that would get together and do that periodically. I think that's good therapy too.
That would be incredible. Yep.
Okay, so Robert Alcantara, and let's see, we've got R4LCoaching.com, Romeo 4 Lima Coaching.com. Do you have a Facebook page or any social media or anything you'd like to share?
You can find me on LinkedIn, Robert Alcantara, first name, last name. That's Alcantara. And Facebook, R4L Coaching.
I will make sure and include those links here as well.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for being on the show today, Robert. It's great to talk to you.
Thanks.
And
thank you for having me.
Good luck with your coaching business.
Thank you.
That beautiful rendition of Taps is a public domain recording created and recorded by an employee of the United States government. It is open source and not under copyright protection. Kenny Thomas' song Send Me is used by permission of Kenny Thomas. Isaiah 6:8 was read by Tim Abel. Thank you, Michael Broderick, for the introduction. All work is original or used by permission. This has been a production of Gallant Fuse, the New American Veteran, a member of the Heroes Media Group. All rights reserved.